Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video. We're back on the PTS testing out a bunch of things, and today we're gonna cover the new exotic MMR, the Shroud. This gun looks incredible, handles pretty damn well as well, and can do its damage for an MMR, even if you don't go for your headshots. In the background you see me testing it out live on stream, and we're testing it out particularly on body shots, seeing what this gun exactly can do for us, because the talent is a very interesting one. If we jump over to the Shroud, this is an exotic MMR, and every exotic and named item in the game will come with a little inscription, quote unquote, the bigger they are. The total damage, or better said, the base damage, that little white number is 412.5k, RPM of 55, a mag of 7. On this build we almost have 230% headshot damage and an up-throw range of 50. But it's of course all about the talent. Like always, we will have some marksman rifle damage, headshot damage on there, and like always go for damage to target out of cover as that third attribute. Accuracy and stability are pretty decent with a reload time of 2.6 seconds, but yeah, accuracy and stability should be decent for a marksman rifle. When we scroll down, we can go to the talent high priority target. I heard a lot of different questions about this, so let's read through this and let's clarify a few things. High priority target amplifies weapon damage by 125% to the highest ranking enemies within the tier hierarchy. And then it shows us 3 different tiers: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Within tier 1 we have hunters, we have rogues, we have the new leaders throughout the retaliation game mode, we have tanks, we have shields, heavy weapons, RPG, medic, controller, warhound, marauder, and so forth, right? I won't read everything out there, but these are the tier 1, 2, and 3 enemies. So whenever you have a group of enemies in front of you, the highest enemy archetype will give you the highest damages. So it's not about a red, a purple, or a yellow bar. It's not about that tier hierarchy, but it's about what the enemy archetype is. There is a little downfall for that, but let's talk about that later. Whenever you shoot that enemy, you will get that amplification damage of 125%. So for example, you have 3 enemies in front of you, you take out the highest tier first, that will give you that amplification damage, then there are 2 enemies left, and then it switches over to the next highest enemy on the tier. So you don't have to worry that you cannot do your highest damage because there is no tier 1 enemy on the field. No, it changes around whenever you take out your enemies. So usually when you start on a little bit of an easier enemy to then maybe jump over to the most dangerous enemy, and now we kinda have to focus on the strongest enemy and then work our way down to give us that full 125% amplified damage. It's a very interesting way of playing, and it can be very, very powerful as well. We even tried it out with a normal striker build to put the Shroud on our secondary. Just use your normal striker setup, just shoot some stuff with striker, and then the moment the named enemy or the strongest enemy or the boss of that area comes out, switch over to your Shroud and do that extra 125% amplification damage on that enemy, and it also works. This will of course be a little situational. On max stacks the striker will beat it out, but of course you're not gonna utilize striker with the Shroud itself. We went over for a build like this: 2 pieces of Hasbro, 3 pieces of the new brand set that was introduced, with an urban lookout, as that will give us some extra 30% marksman rifle as well. And then we went for a little Cheska to get ourselves some critical hit chances in, so we could do our body shots, so we could showcase it a little bit better for you, as that is also of course a little bit easier to hit, and we can see the damage numbers popping off. We're going between 1.5 and 2 million on the lower bracket enemies, getting up to that 4 to 5 million on a body shot to the highest bracket enemies. And of course, whenever you do a headshot, we can hit up to that 15 to 16 mil just on this build, also just utilizing glass cannon, so we knew we always had the same damage outputs. Not that another talent had a stack already, and then it's a little bit harder to calculate what the damages are versus somebody else. That's why our test was with glass cannon, this setup, and just shooting body shots. It feels good, it's pretty fun to play with. The Shroud also has the option to zoom in and zoom out within your scope. It's a bolt action, so whenever you reload, you will scope out and then scope back in again. The damage feels good, even on body shots, even for me, for not being an MMR player. I don't like to be scoped around. I know a lot of people like to shoot like that, but it's not my preferred playstyle. But I had fun testing this out. It was fun to use this Shroud, and it looks so incredible. I know a lot of people would say, oh, that's an easy skin, but I like this, man. The black tarp around it, it is a very, very good look, especially if you combine this, if you have it, with the recruiter outfit. It's just made for each other. And now let's talk about what could be a little bit better on the Shroud. I feel like it's already doing a decent job within the damages, so that 125% amp damage feels good. Again, I am no mathematician, so I don't know if it's the full 125% of amplification damage that we're really enjoying. The only thing that I would love to see is a mark above the enemy's head that is the highest ranking enemy on the field. This, as the gun, kinda feels like doing homework. You need to know which enemies are in the highest tiers to make sure that you always start shooting the right enemy. Don't get me wrong, it's also nice to scan around and find your enemy, what a sniper usually should do, but it's pretty annoying, especially for new and returning players, to then remember which enemies are the tier 1, the tier 2, and the tier 3 enemies. So I would love to see some kind of mark above the enemy's head. A friend of mine, Tutok, came with a very nice suggestion. Then don't put that mark above somebody's head instantly, but let us search for him still. So whenever we scope in, that mark will show up. If we're not scoped in, that mark won't show up, because he had a good point, as then it might be too easy to take everybody out and just one-shot everything and go to the next area. As the sniper class is still recon, we still need to do a little recon to get our damages out, so I would love to see something like that. Or else I feel like a lot of people are or misunderstanding the weapon and putting it away, or thinking that the weapon doesn't do damage and putting it away, because they might misunderstand the tier hierarchy within the Shroud. This is of course a little bit the same with the gloves, but that's a whole nother video. We're talking about the Shroud right now. So again, my opinion is it feels good. It's a nice looking gun. I had a lot of fun playing with it and testing it out. While I'm not even an MMR player, but I would love to see a little mark, so we don't have to go back to high school, do our homework to know which enemy we need to shoot. That is of course all my opinion. Now I want to hear yours. Did you test it out on a PTS already? Or what do you think about the explanation that I just gave to you? Is it now a little bit more clear how the talent works? And are you going to test this out? Let me know in the comments down below. I will love to hear your opinion, but that's pretty much it from me today. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and or you want to be updated by the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.